Many people are not aware that while they are watching the television they are being hypnotized. This is such a way that they accept everything which they see without critical thinking or even questioning it. The television is actually a constant flow of images which is flickering. Thus, we do not see it consciously. If you think of it, you will remember that one time someone filmed the TV while on the video you didn't see properly because it was constantly flickering. This repetition of flickering images creates a state of mind that is similar to hypnosis. The researcher Herbert Krugman has shown that within 30 seconds of television viewing, brain waves switch from predominantly beta waves, indicating alert and conscious attention, to predominantly alpha waves, indicating an unfocused, receptive lack of attention. The brain's left hemisphere, which processes information logically and analytically, tunes out while the person is watching TV, while the right hemisphere of the brain, which processes information emotionally and non-critically, is allowed to function without hindrance. Due to this phenomenon, television transmits information, which is not actively thought about at the time of exposure, much like hypnosis. When viewing television, we do not consciously rationalize the information resonating within our unconscious depths at the time of transmission, and the viewer becomes more open and suggestible. This causes that it is a powerful tool used to control minds of the masses. In recent years, a number of investigations and exposes have revealed that the major media companies silences independent voices and investigations, discourage journalism that interferes with the agendas of their special interests, and eliminate diversity in the information they provide. Because of the control that these companies have over the information that most people receive on a daily basis, these criticisms and revelations are never known by most of the American public. These media giants work hand in hand with the federal government as well as many multinational corporations to disseminate carefully planned messages. Through the television and other forms of media, they tell you what to think about, what to worry about, what to smile about, and what to be scared of. They have sold the public on the idea of the newscaster being a trustworthy person who presents information which is true and accurate. In 2008, the Pentagon spent more than $2 billion compensating major media outlets for spreading public relations messages. These messages are delivered to the television viewer as news produced by the television station, not as paid and produced by the Pentagon. In the same year, pharmaceutical companies paid television outlets more than $4 billion for advertising, which included video news releases, VNR, specially tailored pieces that appear within the nightly news disguised as researched and reported by the local stations. You will also see this back in the newspapers. If you have noticed, it looks like to every article there is an researched link saying it has been conducted by an university. While the university is being paid by the multinationals to give these results for their own purposes. And yet while all this has been happening behind the scenes, the mass public has been duped into staking all their trust in select major media outlets as they express brand loyalty in television stations, newspapers, and magazines. Many people have been tricked into believing that the mainstream media reports only objective news, while any information delivered from outside the mainstream is to always be questioned. Somehow the public has bought into the idea that the TV wouldn't lie to them. Many people will not pay any regard to information that is not covered by the major media. If the people did not hear about it on the nightly news, then they simply don't care. This is the mindset that the major media companies want us to have, as we are willfully ignorant and obedient to their every direction. Our unanalytical and loyal viewership is in their best interest. Major media news networks continually bombard us with the possibility of an endless amount of scenarios, which produce fear and then shape our reactions to real situations. This is predictive programming, which gets us familiar with an idea so that when it happens we expect it and do not react and question. Although most people refer to television programming as the shows that are aired on television, It can also refer to the programming of the people that occurs on a daily basis. Most people believe they are just simply being entertained, but they never realize that their way of life is being shaped for them and their thoughts are actually being given to them. They are being familiarized with ideas, concepts, and fear so they won't question certain interventions in the future. TV gives us what messages must be imprinted in our minds, gives us what button to push in what sequence, and if it's done the right way with the right production and the right propaganda, then the public will react and do exactly as they've been programmed to do. When one continually controls the information, one controls the people absorbing the information. The manufactured and controlled information on TV can be referred to as the signal, and that constant signal is what shapes and guides the masses to their conclusions. Once we come to the conclusion that the media is intentionally deceiving us, we can take our minds back. By turning off your TV, you will realize the world that you're living in is suddenly very unfamiliar to you. You will see that news of no importance is constantly debated and analyzed, and as you listen to the conversations of people around you, you realize they're talking robots just repeating what they've heard on the news. Then you will understand and see them as people who are unable to reason or think for themselves. They'll only be able to parrot the information they've been given on the previous night's news. We should all help each other to recognize this before mind control changes in total control. This is because this mass media is taking a problem by either creating it or allowing it to happen and presenting it to the population. It could be terrorism, molestation, extraterrestrials, etc. These topics create fear, and no one in their right mind would support terrorism or crime. If the media is being bombarded with problems, the public will ask for a solution. This solution will practically be more security. Tough at the same time, it also means indirectly less freedom and less privacy. Everywhere are cameras being installed, for safety reasons. Fingerprints of everyone is being put in a database, for safety reasons. You have to show who you are at every second of the day, for safety reasons. Someone who is conscious of critical thinking will question this. Everyone can see that this will end up in total control of the government. Seeing what we are doing, listening what we are talking about, and even in the future knowing where and when we are going somewhere. Guess what happens if they notice something which they don't like of someone or which could be an obstacle for them? Accuse him of something false and put them in jail or blocking his path so his life will become miserable and even maybe kill him. This is not something new and has already happened numerous times. The only way to stop this is by becoming aware and conscious of what is going on. Moreover, letting others know, so they don't do, think, say and follow what is being told to them, but start making their own conclusions. K.I.K, knowledge is king, get into the know. Check the United States out.